2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes. Then live for 2 minutes.
We got no fear, no doubt, all in balls out. We're going up tonight to kick out every light, take anything we want, drink everything inside. We're going till the world stops turning while we burn it to the ground at night. We're screaming like demons and swinging from the ceiling. I got a fist full of 50s, tequila just hit me. Oh, we got no class, no taste, no shirt and shit-faced. We got 'em lined up, shot down, firing back straight crown. We're going up tonight to kick out every light, take anything we want, drink everything inside. We're going till the world stops turning while we burn it to the ground at night. Ticking like a time bomb, drinking till the night's gone. Get your hands off of this glass, last call my ass.
And a very pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Full Velocity TV here live tonight with FTF Racing, the Verizon Cup Series playoff race #1 here live tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Dan Wheldon Memorial 200 here at Las Vegas, 134 lap main event, the first of what is going to be 10 races live on Full Velocity TV of the entire FTF Series playoffs here to end 2018, and we are thrilled to have you all aboard. Good evening, everybody. Phil LaCasse here, half voice here tonight, but we're going to give it a go alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Too Tall, Todd Stanton, as always, at the controls for us on Full Velocity TV. And Todd, man, it doesn't feel like a year ago since we were back at FTF celebrating the 2017 championship, where we talked to Taylor Morgans at Victory Lane and gave him the trophy. But here we are 1 year later, 10 race stretch. It starts all here tonight in Las Vegas. It is going to be fun.
It is definitely going to be fun here this evening, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Going to see a lot of different faces here than we're used to. We've seen some others last year. And I know I'm looking for that Reese's car out there, that Taylor Morgan who won the 2017 championship. And Taylor Morgan's out there in a fast break car, so a little bit different than what I'm used to seeing. But Taylor Morgan's out there with his traditional Reese's car. Love that fast break car. Love the way it looks out there. Cannot wait to see what's going to happen here in these 10 races with FTF. They put on a fantastic show for us last year for all 10 races. This year is probably going to be none of the lesser of the two. So we're going to see who's going to pick up that 2018 championship. Only one guy can be the champion, and these guys are going to fight tooth and nail each and every race.
You have that absolutely right here. The entire 2018 FTF playoffs is going to be live flag to flag right here on Full Velocity TV. But before we get this show underway, guys, a lot to go over. We'll set the entire playoff roster when we get set to go to green flag. But before we do, let's go trackside for the playing of tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah, we're back here in National Anthem to get us started. Thanks to John Tuffy Stardust with the National Anthem rendition. We have promised that's going to get an update here soon. It is certainly going to do that. Thrilled you're all aboard. Great crowd out there. You guys in the YouTube chat, keep that box alive all night long. It really makes these shows go round for us. But we are here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Dan Wheldon Memorial 200 playoff race #1 for our friends at FTF Racing, Justin Malello, Kevin McAdams, Corey Carpenter, Brandon Lawson, the entire group of characters that make up this terrific racing league that we're thrilled to take for 10 races. Playoff standings coming in tonight look just like this. Taylor Morgans will come in with a strength of 39 playoff points to have the early advantage on in the FTF playoffs, a 1-point advantage over Kevin McAdams, Corey Carpenter, Brian Mercurio, Cosman, Inoshu is a top 5, Justin Malello, Kyle Riley, Brandon Lawson, Tyler Head, Jordan Buster, Chris Wetz, Jake Poulin, Arnold Columbia, Ryan Naraki, Zach Buchanan, and Nick Baker. Those are the 16 drivers championship eligible here as we get started at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The cars are on the grid. We're about 5 seconds away from setting it trackside. So why don't we do that now for tonight's indication to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines.
And with that, that's going to set the field off for what is going to be 134 laps. 3 stages of racing here tonight. I believe it's 35, 35, and 64 for the 3-stage length. So let's dive into tonight's starting lineup. On the pole in the 44 car, a championship contender. That's Brian Mercurio. And on the outside, the 051 is Joey Bailey. Row 2, defending series champion, rolls off next. Our point leader, the 36 of Taylor Morgans. To the outside, the 26 is Kevin McAdams. Row 3, the 8 car is Jordan Buster. Isaac Gann, a heavy hitter, rolls off on the outside of row number 3. Corey Carpenter and Blake McCandless will make up the 4th row. 5th row is made up of 2 championship contenders with Justin Malello and Brandon Lawson. Cosme and Oshu rolls off the 24 car from position 11. Chris Wetz will start outside of him in car 71. The 39 car championship contender Arnold Columbia rolls off 13th. The 43 car of Kyle Riley will roll off in the 14th position. The 10 car of Nick Gunther will roll off 15th with Tyler Head alongside in the 64. Nick Baker rolls off 17th in the 79. Jake Poulin aboard car number 01. Nick DePalmo makes his return to the NR 2003 community. He's in the 048 and running out the 10th row. The 00 car is Ryan Naraki. Zach Buchanan, Noah Carmichael, and Sonny Tallman make up tonight's 23-car field at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, set to go for what is going to be a terrific night of racing. They are on the front stretch getting ready to take the green flag. Todd, green flag's up in the air. The FTF Playoffs Verizon Cup Series 2018 Championship Hunt. It's underway here toward turn 1.
Definitely underway down to turns number 1 is Mercurio in the number 44 and Bailey on the outside trying to work over the top side of the speedway here. Las Vegas Motor Speedway is the venue that we are at for the first race of the FTF playoffs here with the number 51. Like I said, I was watching Taylor Morgan's. I thought he was going to try to squeeze play those guys up through the middle, but Morgan's now down to the bottom side. The number 36 fast break machine able to hold on to third. Right there in that fourth spot is Kevin McAdams. Isaac Gann in fifth.
Isaac Gann currently brings that 34 car up fifth with their side-by-side off of turn 2 for the race lead. Oh, Merck, Brian Mercurio down to the inside. Joey Bailey's 051. He is up high. Taylor Morgan's going to ride on the tire tracks in that Reese's fast break Camaro to the inside. He's riding third, but Todd, they're side-by-side for the race lead. Mercurio not giving an inch to Joey Bailey's 051 car.
Yeah, Mercurio in that bright yellow Menards sponsor machine on the bottom side, the Budweiser 51 of Bailey on the top side. That's the 051. It says 51B on the side of his car, but we see him as 051 on the screen. Side-by-side battle coming down through the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Fantastic battle for the top spot. Taylor Morgan's just sitting there, riding there in third, waiting for one of these guys to make a mistake. He's going to pick the line that he wants to go to in that number 36 machine right now. Just watching these guys battle up front, and it's a pretty good battle going on there, Phil.
It absolutely is. Well, looks like Joey Bailey is going to drive it deep into turn number 1 and 2. He's going to wash up the high lane a little bit. Let's see if he can't clear the pass off of turn 2. Mercurio going to come fighting back on the inside. Joey Bailey going to clear that pass. I was going to say, Todd, FTF Racing, very notorious for their updated EXE file, really changes the complexion of how the old NR 2003 sim can race. You'll see it here. These guys do a lot of work to the racetracks. Hats off to Kevin McAdams, Adam Codall, all the entire staff that make this all go around. But it's going to show for a little bit different than what you may be accustomed to with NR 2003. You're going to see a different style of racing. These 10 weeks are going to be fun, and it shows here in the opening laps here. Is Joey Bailey able to make that strong move in the outside lane? Mercurio is there. I'm just peeking at that 36, Todd, just like you are. As the 44 comes back low, I'm waiting for Taylor Morgan's to pounce, because said he's the defending champion. He's a multiple-time winner this season. He's going to come into this FTF playoff with a 1-point advantage to those 39 stage points. The top 10, of course, pay out these stage points, but those are pretty key when you come this time of year with this chase starting. And Taylor Morgan's riding third, right where he wants to be in these opening laps.
Yeah, definitely running where he wants to run here in the opening laps. Just trying to get some pickups on those stage points there. 36. She's not trying anything too snazzy as of right now, or too where it's going to put him in a bad situation in the 36. But right now, just running in that third spot. He's locked and loaded right now. The other guys drop back, probably about 10 car lengths to that second pack. Now here comes Mercurio down to the bottom side once again as we get a nice far view around the track here in Las Vegas on the camera here. Just looking at the infield, the beautiful infield. Look at all the things that have gone on to this track. Beautiful looking track here prepared by some of the track builders here at FTF. I believe it's Kevin McAdams that does a lot of work to some of the physics and different stuff to this track. But it is fantastic racing going on here in Las Vegas. High-low switching here for the 51 of Bailey as he was up on the top shelf there for a little bit. Drops down to the bottom. He's kind of diving into the corner as Mercurio now drives up behind him there on the high side. He sees that Bailey has something going up there, so he's going to try to see what kind of run he can get in that number 44 machine.
And that may be a case of these guys just seeking out the line of the racetrack early. It's a long race, 134 laps. They may be seeing how the tire temps, the tire, you know, all that stuff's going to hold off to the top shelf of the racetrack. But you see Mercurio once again diving back to the bottom of the racetrack. He's actually going to be scored the race, you know, this current lap. But looking back behind them, Todd, you see those good 3-car race up front. Battle for fourth pretty good as well. Isaac Gaines able to drive, you know, around the 26 of McAdams. He's also brought Blake McCandless, Corey Carpenter, Brandon Lawson. I mean, that's a who's who of the brass at FTF here. Heavy hitters up and down this entire field. These are guys currently running outside the top 5. I mean, these guys are all starting to move forward. We're going to have a great race up front here before too long.
Yeah, definitely going to be a great race to transpire. And if you guys are looking to see who's actually in the chase, they're marked by the red Verizon banners on the cars. They're a little tough to see at times, but you can see the Verizon banners there on top of the car. They're bright red there, like the 26 of Kevin McAdams and the number 30 of Corey Carpenter. Those guys in the chase in the playoffs here for these events here for FTF, and you can see the red banners as Corey Carpenter just tags the outside wall just a little bit. That's going to give a little bit of right side damage, I should say, to the 30 of Corey Carpenter. Probably not what he wanted there. But like I said, explaining the banners, they're red, so you're going to see who's actually in the FTF playoffs here.
Yeah, it gives you a good reading on it. We've had a change up for that second spot. Taylor Morgan's able to sneak by Joey Bailey, who's just not going away at all. Taylor running the old slow side. He's alongside the 44 of Brian Mercurio. Taylor Morgan's tied for the first time here in the playoffs. Put the 36 car maybe up to the race lead. Can't quite complete the pass, but he's got that preferred line down low as they head toward turn one.
Taylor Morgan's liking that limelight here at Full Velocity TV, trying to make a challenge for the lead around Mercurio. Not able to do so far here in that 44. He's got the advantage on the outside. He's able to get a little bit more momentum coming off the corner. Morgan's working the bottom side though to perfection in that 36 machine. Is he going to be able to maybe pull off a slide job that we would call in the dirt? He's going to be able to do so off of turn number 4. The 36 Taylor Morgan's to the lead. Mercurio back to second.
Mercurio back to second, Bailey back to third. I've been watching those fourth place cars on back there, Todd. What was almost like 9/10 of a second between third and fourth? Well, it's down to precious car lengths now. The 34 of Isaac Gann is there. He's brought McAdams, Blake McCandless, Corey Carpenter, all right there. A couple car lengths back, you find Justin Malello, who's now up to 8th. Brandon Lawson currently 9th. Kyle Riley's brought his way into the top 10. Great field of race cars, a lot of top-shelf race car drivers. I mean, you want a mega ultra competitive lead. These guys at FTF, they do it better than anybody else. I mean, the talent is just throughout this field, and every week I tried my hand here for the first 5 races of the year, and what I learned, I don't belong at this top-shelf league. I am not fast enough, but you have any kind of courage to come out there and try your skill against these guys, I recommend finding the group at FTF Racing. These guys are completely awesome. It's seeing right here on the racetrack for the first 14 laps of the race. All clean so far, all chasing the defending series champion, Taylor Morgan's down the front straightaway, Todd, toward turn 1.
Yeah, chasing down Taylor Morgan's going to be a hard thing to do here this evening. I do believe he's starting to run away almost half a second between himself and Mercurio. Isaac Gann running in that third spot in the number 34 machine. Kevin McAdams running in 4th. 5th is Blake McCandless. Joey Bailey already slipping back to 6th in that 051. Corey Carpenter 7th. 8th is Justin Malello. Kyle Riley is in 9th. Tyler Head is in 10th. Brandon Lawson in 11th. 12th is Chris Wetz. So right now that's your top 12 as they're going on the screen here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are ticking off laps here at Las Vegas at a pretty good clip. Is now the challenge for that second spot. He's starting to heat up. Isaac Gann going to the top shelf of the speedway. And that Chevy Camaro number 34, that purple car on your screen, side-by-side battle with Mercurio is not going to last very long. Power move by the 34 of Isaac Gann puts him into P number 2.
Got P2 for Isaac Gann. He's going to have 7/10 of a second to make up, but that's sheer car length, so that 34 is as fast as it is. He may do all he can to chase down to 36, but Todd, yellow flag going to come on the speedway. Yellow flag for the first time tonight, and that's what we have to also remind these guys also about FTF Racing. These guys run what we call a gentleman's type of caution. The field basically in-game stays green the entire time, but it looks like a spin on the racetrack, Todd. It looks like the 8 car of Jordan Buster may have got a piece. The 39 of Arnold Columbia may have also been above us as well, so give you a point of reference. But what we're going to see, guys, they're not the normal situation where the pace car comes out to the racetrack. These guys slow down to pace speed. They all take the caution flag. They open up pit road next time around, and if there's lap cars, they'll do it a second time. But they try to minimize the amount of time they actually spend pacing out here on the racetrack. Is a cool thing these guys do at FTF. We'll get more used to that if you're just tuning into this league for the first time. If you've been here before, you follow the FTF landscape, you guys know exactly how this works. But for the viewers who may not, be all adapt to what we're seeing, this is how they do things. Pit road is a very busy place. I'll update what's going on down here, Todd. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it down to you tonight for the first time and see our first Full Velocity TV replay.
Yeah, it's going to be with that number 39 machine, and like I said, Columbia here is not going to be the benefactor of this one. He's already got donuts on the right side of his car. They make a 3 wide. He bounces off the wall. Looks like Jordan Buster gets into the side of Arnold Columbia. Around goes Columbia into the outside retaining wall. His back end just a little bit smashed in now for the number 39 machine. Tough break for Arnold Columbia and that 39 machine. But that's enough to bring out the yellow flag here.
Yeah, and you see the contact on the racetrack. Guys just racing hard, and this is what these guys do at FTF. They dig for every piece of real estate out there, and it's going to make for some really cool pictures around not only Las Vegas, but all these great racetracks coming up in the next couple of weeks, including Todd, which I think may be, I want to knock on wood. I think this may be happening. I believe these guys are even going to the Charlotte Roval, so that'll be really cool to watch. Something very new to this community, something I think new to us. I know they've been working on it feverishly behind the scenes, but unofficially, I think that the Charlotte Roval coming up on schedule, one of the great racetracks, one of the many great racetracks we're going to see over these 10 weeks. It is going to be a lot of fun, as these guys have all looked like they've completed work on pit road and one to go, so we'll get ready for green next time around.
They're going to be ready to get green flag here next time around. Looks like Taylor Morgan going to be your race leader. I believe the 0-0 going to duck off with Zach Schultz, I believe, is the 0-0 in the CSX. Sponsor machine is going to give the lead back to the 36, Taylor Morgan's. Then the number 44 going to run in that second spot. Third is probably going to be Isaac Gann, Blake McCandless, and then Kevin McAdams, Corey Carpenter. Just waiting for timing and scoring to reset here, Phil. But the racing is going to start getting hot and heavy. Remember, there is stages in this event too, so got to remember when those stages end. We're going to try to do our best to give you the top 10, and that's going to be unofficial here on our ends. Obviously, FTF is going to have the official results of the top 10 in these stages, but we're going to do our best to get those top 10 to you. Like I said, up in the live screen, we got something new coming next week for you guys here at FTF Playoffs. Everything's going to go on. Up in the off screen right now, you see always green flag. We will let you know when the yellow flags do indeed come out. Lap counter is up there in the upper left-hand portion of your screen, so that way you guys do know what laps are going on. Like I said, the yellows and stuff, when these guys call yellows, we'll be able to change some things around here. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to unveil that next Sunday night here, FTF Playoffs. Green flag's in the air meanwhile, Phil.
Yeah, green flag is out, and these guys do their spacing here. Everybody's kind of about 2 car lengths apart from row to row, so that's why this restart may look a little bit scattered. But Taylor Morgan's led the field back to the restart with Brian Mercurio. Those guys pull back single file. The side-by-side racing is for third between Isaac Gann and Blake McCandless. McCandless up high. Looks like he'll complete the pass on Isaac Gann into turn 3.
Yeah, McCandless going to be able to get around Isaac Gann in that number 34 machine. McCandless in the 028 here tonight. A little bit difficult to see those guys' numbers, but they got nice little paint schemes on them, so you'll be able to set them apart from the rest of the guys on your screen. But here comes Isaac Gann back down to the bottom side. He's going to fire on all cylinders down on the bottom there. Gann will find a way to get around McCandless here, and those guys fight tooth and nail each and every week that they get together. Those guys are fun to watch there, Phil. McCandless and Isaac Gann, those guys know how to conserve their tires, I'm going to tell you that.
Oh, they absolutely do, and I think that's why you're going to see these two guys at the end of this race, because Vegas notoriously is good to burn up basically right front tires. The way they set the cars up here, maybe right rear tires may go first, depending on how these guys attack the corner and drive the racetrack. But yeah, you hit it out of the park with that one. McCandless and Isaac Gann, even Corey Carpenter to an extent, Kevin McAdams too. Those guys all can save tires, and coincidentally, those guys running 3 through 6 on the racetrack. We know Taylor Morgan's Todd. He has all the right stuff to lead these races as too. You don't win a championship at FTF and not be a slouch. Taylor Morgan's one of the most talented drivers that the NR 2003 community has ever seen. And wouldn't you know, the opening race of the playoffs here, the Dan Wheldon Memorial 200 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, that familiar number 36 car, it's pacing the field, leading Mercurio by a couple of car lengths down the back straightaway toward turn 3.
Like you said, Taylor Morgan's one of those guys that you kind of cringe if he shows up, because you know he's going to be the guy to beat here each and every night, especially some guy like me or you, Phil. You know, we like to play towards the back of the field, and you see somebody like that, you're like, oh man, now I really don't have a chance to win. But, you know, Taylor Morgan's a fantastic driver out there, and he shows it each and every week. Any league that he's ever been a part of, you always see him up towards the front of the field. So, but like I said, Taylor Morgan's fantastic driver. A lot of these guys in the FTF community, I tell you, they put on one whale of a show, and these are all top-notch drivers. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, they absolutely are, and it's just going to be awesome to see these guys over the next 10 weeks get reacclimated to all the gang at FTFs. Remember how they all do things, and you know, get to this showcase all 10 of these races, which is going to be so much fun. Good battle for 5th into turn number 3. Kevin McAdams used a little snooker move up high on the 30 of Corey Carpenter. That Mountain Dew Ice Camaro, Todd, the 26 of McAdams, that thing rolling on the top side. Moved Kevin McAdams up to P5, maybe not so fast. That Sunoco Chevrolet, Corey Carpenter, he's fighting back on the inside, but looks like advantage McAdams. 26 car now up to that 5th spot.
Corey Carpenter falling back to 6th in that number 30 machine now in hindsight of the number 43 of Kyle Riley. Riley starting to be able to get up to his back door here. trying to be able to pass the number 30 Corey Carpenter, but Kevin McAdams on a mission there. Mountain Dew Ice, that's a nice paint scheme out there. I kind of like that Mountain Dew Ice scheme. I still haven't tried Mountain Dew Ice. I don't know what's going on. I'm a Mountain Dew fan. Never tried Mountain Dew Ice, but Kevin McAdams right now giving a good run in that Mountain Dew Ice, number 26, running in that 5th spot.
Running in the 5th spot, indeed. Looking at those guys up front, they just kind of not getting away from each other. I've been peeking back at 3rd. The 028 of Blake McCandless, which that's a pretty cool-looking race car there as well. He's riding up the top side of the racetrack. I think Blake knows kind of where this race is going to unfold, where as far as the best place to keep your tires cool. They call Blake Mr. F4 for a reason. He's notorious for keeping tire temps down. I'm just observing him riding up a top shelf of the racetrack where everybody else, Todd, running toward the middle to the bottom. Right now on the bottom, here comes Kevin McAdams to the low side of Isaac Ann. Mountain Dew Ice Machine, he is up on the move. Kevin McAdams, the 26, up the P4 off of turn 2.
And McAdams on the move in that number 26 machine, running in 4th. Like you said, he did complete the pass here on the 34 of Isaac Ann. Now set sail for the number 028 of Blake McCandless. McCandless right now running in that 3rd spot, so he's going to have to make sure that he's going to come down. Looks like he's going to come down a little bit off his high groove there, where he's probably saving some of his tires just to make sure that he's going out. And Blake McCandless going to make a fool out of me once again. McCandless still running in 3rd, still running up top there, saving his tires, conserving it, and making sure that he's going to be there at the end of this segment here, Phil. So it's going to be interesting to see how this segment is going to play out. I know it's coming on, and it's going to be ending here soon there, Phil.
No, absolutely right. And yeah, one of those things, I kind of wish Blake was, up in the FTF playoffs for this season. He only ran a partial schedule, got his first win at FTF here last time out, won the Brickyard race over here at FTF. Blake's first ever win at FTF. This time around, Todd, already, you can believe it, 5 laps to go in stage number 1 for these guys. Taylor Morgans has taken that lead from the 44 car, and he has not looked back. The biggest comer in the field besides the 26 there, Todd, I've been kind of peeking on back through the field, and I've kind of come to the 43 car of Kyle Riley. Kyle having a really good run. He's a championship contender, of course. Has that red banner on the race car to signify that. Kyle Riley started outside the top 10. He finds himself up in P7. Stage points are crucial. Kyle Riley doing all the right things up here to be inside the top 10 is they're going to pay out those stage points for stage 1 in just about 4 laps from now.
I hate to say it there, Phil, but you're right. It's coming to a close here for stage number 1. And these guys going to start throwing everything they have at it. And you're seeing a lot of these guys with that red Verizon banner. They're up towards that top 10 because they want those stage points. They want every ounce of help that they can get. I'm watching right now on the screen a nice battle here with Brandon Lawson and the number 43 of Kyle Riley. Also the 30 of Corey Carpenter into the fray. The 64 of Tyler Head there. It's a pretty good battle going on. A lot of these guys had some battles at their homes, though, with Hurricane Florence and Tropical Storm Florence. I know Brandon Lawson was reporting a lot of the weather, and I was trying to keep up to date on what Brandon Lawson was saying, but I know he was struck by that storm down there. It's nice to see these guys being able to make it out and race after a hurricane like that. So Brandon Lawson having a good run here in 7th.
Yeah, and our thoughts and prayers to everybody down there who may be affected by Florence. And one way or the other, I think guys like Randall Coleman were infected. I know he run the entire season over at FTF. I know a couple other guys may now also be here. The ones I knew directly affected that were in the playoffs, Corey Carpenter and Brandon Lawson, they're both here. Blake McCandless, he was also questionable. He's also here. So that's great to hear. Hope everybody's checked in is safe. If you guys haven't, want to hear everybody from that region. Check into these guys out here in Full Velocity TV. Let us know you're out there doing good, and we can report that. But Todd, white flag going to come out on stage number 1. But I just want to remind everybody out there watching at FTF, it's not like the NASCAR Cup Series or all the touring divisions. They throw the yellow flag after these stages. FTF, they do not. They continue to keep on racing on, so which makes it even more tougher for one of these admins tallying up the stage points into the race. They got to go back through the race and see where everybody was running on the racetrack. We're not going to see a caution flag. We're going to run right through the stage. So as they come off of turn number 4 this time for the stage checkered flag, Taylor Morgans is going to pick up the win in stage number 1, pick up maximum points. That's how the point leader takes the reign of this series. Mercurio going to finish up 2nd on the stage. Blake McCandless 3rd. Looks like Isaac Gann may sneak by Kevin McAdams, the 4th. A 26 will finish 5th. The 30 of Corey Carpenter, 6th. Kyle Riley, 7th. Brandon Lawson, 8th. Tyler Head, 9th. And Justin Malello, he picks up a stage point. He rounds out the top 10 here in stage number 1. But now you're seeing the strategy stuff to unfold, Todd. Tires may start going away. We have another 36 laps to make here in stage number 2. The question is, how long are these guys going to stay out there before maybe their pit window opens up? I'm going to guess probably about a dozen laps, or maybe a little bit more, 12 to 15. I think you'll see the maximum load. That may be just enough here for these guys to pit one time and make it through the duration of stage 2.
Yeah, definitely going to see probably about 12 to 15 laps. Some of these guys are going to come down in and take some fresh goodies out in their cars and try to get back out there. Like you said, strategy is going to play a key role here. Pit strategy is going to play a key role. Las Vegas always turns into a field mileage race or a type of strategy race as long as they stay clean and green here the rest of the way. Taylor Morgan's right now leading over Mercurio by 0.527. And then you got Blake McCandless, Isaac Gann, Kevin McAdams, Corey Carpenter, Brandon Lawson, Tyler Head. Cosman now up to 9th. Chris Wentz up to 10th. So Malello finished 10th in the initial first part of the run here for the stage there. And now already back to 12th. So Justin Malello got his stage point. Now he's taking off and riding back towards about 12th or 13th. Probably saving his tires. Probably heated something up just a little bit on that 53 machine. Just trying to make it to his next pit stop is Justin Malello.
Absolutely, and I think one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, Todd, maybe the number 71 car, that Ford of Chris Wentz. He was outside the top 10. He is now running up in the 9th spot. He just got his way around Cosman. He's up there harassing the 64 car of Tyler Head. Chris Wentz, I'm not sure you have telemetry on the fastest lap of the race or fastest car on the track, but right now, just to the naked eye, Chris Wentz is on the move to the low side. He goes up to 8th. He's around the 64 car in turn 1.
Last time by, Phil, I had the fastest car on the speedway, the 34 of Isaac Gann. He was able to get around Blake McCandless, now up to that 3rd spot. He ran a 30.388 to the leader's 30.410. He was actually indeed the fastest car on the racetrack last time by was Isaac Gann in that number 34 machine. So he's starting to set sail here for the top 2 guys here in that number 34.
Yeah, absolutely is. 34 car on a move here. Taylor Morgan's just kind of drifted away from the field. He has a 1-second advantage over the 44 of Mercurio. Gann up to 3rd, as you said. McCandless 4th. Kevin McAdams currently running 5th. Then it's about a 3-second gap back to the 30 car of Corey Carpenter, who is 6th. Brandon Lawson is 7th. Chris Wentz on the move. He is up to 8th. Tyler Head 9th, and Cosman running out the top 10. Great 3-car race there, Todd. The 71 of Wentz is to the inside of the 9 of Brandon Lawson. Corey Carpenter there as well. Great 3-car race going on for the 6th spot in the turn 1. As now I hear caution flag going to come out on the speedway. Caution flag for the 2nd time this evening. Now working lap number 42 on the speedway, and just trying to go back, Todd. I know it's going to put you to work here real quick. Try to figure out where that caution flag may have come from, but that was a great little green flag spurt there. Looks like this one may have collected the 00 of Zachary Stoltz. The 39 of Arnold Columbia also looks to be involved, so that'll give you a point of reference, Todd, where to go back and look to see what happened. But that was a great run there through the middle to later stage of stage 1 onto the beginning of stage number 2. A couple of guys may have come on to pit road even earlier, including Kyle Riley, who I believe came down pit road. Looks like he's going to get the lucky dog here. So that's going to work out for him and his benefit as he came down gut service and took that spot out of the top 10. These guys are all going to have to come down pit road for fresh tires and fuel. Kyle Riley, he may cycle back really well after this one comes to fruition. We get back to the restart. But Todd, you're busy down there. Caution overlay is up. That means it's time for a replay. So let's see what's going on.
Well, I'm going to go to do this first episode of Let's Let YouTube make the call here. What do you think went on here? You can explain it in the YouTube chat box. I want to hear your guys' opinions down there. Let's say you guys make the call. I'm just going to say here the 00 is a lap down. Looks like he slowed up just a little bit. A little slower than the leaders. Just come right around. The guys that are indeed on the lead lap or who are in front of him here on the lead lap. And unfortunately, Columbia was an innocent bystander. The 00 thinking he was clear, able to come back up the track and into the 39. The 00 backwards across the line. And unfortunately, Schultz in the in the seat here. The 39 was not clear of the 39, I should say, in my opinion. It was not clear of the 39. That caused some extra carnage that probably shouldn't have happened.
Nope. That one's tough to call. Yeah, I'm going to be with you on this one. YouTube chat, who do you think's at fault for this one? That is good, hard racing here at Las Vegas. That's how it rolls. That's how it's going to go down. And, you know, I hate to put it. I know in the race chatter, and they always ask that they claim caution flags. The 00 took blame for that one, and just kind of looking back at it a second time, I almost got to agree, but it's a tough break because that car has got some damage. Arnold Columbia, who is one of our championship contenders, Todd, he's picked up some damage. Tough break for the 39. Not how you want to start a championship chase here at Las Vegas in the first of what is going to be 10 races. You don't want your race car damaged, and you don't want to start these things from behind, because you start from behind, they get awfully tough to make up, and then you think about being put in one of those win-to-get-in scenarios. It makes for great TV, but as a race car driver, holy crap, that just makes your blood pressure just kind of rise.
Yeah, it definitely does there, Phil. Is that, you know, 00, I know he's trying to do the best thing. I can almost guarantee he's trying to do the best thing, stay out of the guys that were faster, and he thought maybe it was clear, maybe those guys are going to go down underneath him. I've had that happen to me time in and time again.
Yeah, it really does happen down there. So, Todd, you got your hands full down there. Todd Stanton, one of the best in the business, at the controls here for us. And when we come back to NR 2003, you know, we took some time away, but there is a lot that goes in behind the scenes to put this old sim up to the airwaves the way we do it with homemade software, and the whole 9 yards. And there's a lot that goes down. One day we'll do a behind-the-scenes thing, maybe on Twitch or whatever, and give you a tour of what goes into putting one of these shows together, because there's a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of programs that need to be fired in the background, a lot of windows open. Todd's got a big old map out of, you know, what scene is what, to hit what button, to show what graphic. So guy's got his hands full. Then to be the best color guy in the business on top of that, hats off to you, brother. That is a big job that you do. But yeah, it looks like we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Believe we maybe not get the one to go single. I see cars starting to double up, but have not got the call from race control we're going this time. So I'll have to check in on that, wait and see. But off of pit road, looks like Taylor Morgan's got 4 tires and won that race, as did Mercurio at 4 tires. McCandless got 4, Gann got 4, Lawson also. I mean, 4 tires, it looks like, up and down pit road. Looks like the biggest loser on the pit stop may have been the 26 and McAdams, who came in 4th. He's going to restart 7th, so a little bit of lost time. We'll see if Kevin McAdams, we know he's a good race car driver. If anybody can make it up, it's him.
Yeah, definitely can make it up. Yeah, Kevin McAdams has been around for a long time in that number 26 machine, so he's going to be a threat to win and can be able to make up any type of position he may lose. Green flag is now back in the air once again. It looks like the 36 of Taylor Morgan has a slight advantage across that start finish line. Coming down here into turn number 1, he's on the bottom side. That fast break machine, the number 36 of Taylor Morgan, is a 44 on the outside. Able to fight back this Mercurio in the 44. Side-by-side battle. Put Mercurio to the lead.
Yeah, he used the benefit of being right up there. You could have put a credit card between that 44 Menards machine or the outside wall off of turn 2. Brian Mercurio, Merc as they call him out here in this community, he is up to the lead now once again. He was our pole sitter earlier on tonight. He reclaims the lead now as we put lap number 48, or 47 rather, up on the board. 44 car back to the lead. Morgan's back to second. Isaac Gann able to make his way around Blake McCandless for third. And Kevin McAdams, I think, made his way. No, that was that was the 9 car of Brandon Lawson. Every reason I don't see the 9 car's paint, but he is up in that 5th spot, Todd. Brandon Lawson, you know, we saw him win the 7-Eleven series last year on our airwaves. A championship contender, a heavy hitter here at FTF. The 9 car up on the top 5. Don't count him out. He's not only a great weatherman, but he's a hell of a race car driver in his own right.
Yeah, I was talking to about Brandon Lawson here earlier, just to Phil and stuff about weather forecasts and stuff that Brandon Lawson was doing. But he was probably the benefactor here of that last pit stop, as Brandon Lawson restarted right up there in the top 5 in that number 9 machine. So Brandon Lawson kind of sneaky, getting up there into the top 5 in that number 9 machine, but he's got the skill to stay up there. I'm going to tell you that. Winning the 7-Eleven series as far as last season goes. He had a good run in the FTF playoffs in that number 9 machine. He's had some good runs in numerous series across all kinds of different leagues that I've seen him run in. So he's always a threat to win. FTF, he's another guy that's able to win each and every week. And you know, Brandon Lawson, one of those guys I think you'll see up here in the top 5 by the finish of this one.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And there's, I mean, if you want to pick a top 5 here, I mean, there's literally 20 cars you can pick from that you can legitimately have a chance to be up in the top 10 when this thing's over. So we got a lot of racing left to go. Not quite to the halfway mark, right in the middle of stage number 2. 50 laps on the board. I'm trying to do the quick math, 36. So about 20 laps, 22 laps away from the conclusion of stage number 2. That caution flag, Todd, what that did is that's going to allow these guys to, you know, fuel and tires to make it through a duration of the stage. That's going to set the stage for 64 laps here in stage number 3. That's going to be interesting because they're going to be at the very end of a tire and fuel run, 64 laps. That's almost a 2-stop scenario when we get to that 3rd stage. We got a lot left to play if this thing stays to green flag racing. Still all chasing Mercurio, who's able to fend back a good challenge from Taylor Morganson at 36 off of 4.
I was looking for a car to see if we can go inside the cockpit of these guys that work here at Las Vegas. I think we're going to go above inside where Corey Carpenter is here. We're just taking a couple different views of Corey Carpenter's car. And then we're going to go in cockpit. Look at that steering wheel. Fantastic steering wheel. The number 30, we're going to watch Corey Carpenter go to work just a little bit here in the number 30 machine. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why the wheel is not working here on the screen, but he's maybe just holding it that steady there, Phil. But nice little in-car look here at the number 30 of Corey Carpenter, just going to work as he watched the number 71 of Chris Wetz just get around Brandon Lawson. That was a battle for 5th. So Lawson now dropping back to the 6th spot and falling back into the clutches here of the 30 of Corey Carpenter. And that's going to be an interesting battle. I believe that's going to heat up here momentarily.
And that is an awesome view from the in-car there, from the 30 car. And yeah, that wheel didn't move. I mean, that may be so good, Todd. The car almost steers itself. I'm not going to speculate, but we know Corey's a hell of a race car driver, currently running in the 7th spot aboard that number 30. You did see Chris Wetz. He's appeared for the first time inside the top 5. That blue and white black number 71 Ford, that thing is on the move, and he's starting to chase down those guys up front. He was 2 seconds behind these guys at one point, Todd. It was 1.6 seconds last time around, and he's starting to sniff the draft of the 028 of Blake McCandless up ahead. Chris Wetz, he's going to be a contender here at Las Vegas before this night is done, up in that top 5.
Yeah, definitely Chris Wetz is starting to move up through the field. He did start in that 12th starting position here tonight, so he's picked up 7 positions. I believe that's the most besides maybe Tyler Head. Tyler Head started 16th. He's running 9th. So both of those guys picking up 7 positions so far. So those guys are the guys that are on the move. Chris Wetz and the number 64 of Tyler Head. Tyler Head having a good run, like I said, in 9th. So those guys both picking up 7 positions here so far compared to their starting position. So still, Mercurio still leading these guys. In that number 44 machine, the 36 of Taylor Morgan's running in that 2nd spot. 3rd is Isaac Gann. 4th is Blake McCandless, Chris Wetz, Brandon Lawson, Corey Carpenter, Kevin McAdams, Tyler Head, and Cosman rounds out your top 10.
A good run going on for Cosman Inoshu in that number 24 car up into the top 10. Gotta love on Cosman here. Of course, Cosman, everybody knows, a guy from Splash and Go Graphics. That's the team that built this awesome-looking 2018 Mazda Energy Cup Series mod. This thing is really, you know, really terrific looking. The damage models on this car, I know we've run it in our home league TDR on Saturday night, so many other leagues have run it over the course of the community. I know, Todd, this is your first look at this car tonight. This is a really solid mod. Hats off to Cosman. All the guys at Splash and Go do quite the awesome job, and he's a hell of a painter there too, Todd. I know you've seen Cosman's work before. Cosman's done me up in one of these Cup cars and also a truck machine that I've been able to use a couple different leagues. I want to thank Cosmo for that hard work, but want to love on him having a good run in the top 10, and this mod he has done. I know all the issues getting you up to speed with it, all the what goes into making this thing look and shine. Cosmo and all those guys at Splash and Go, they did a hell of a job with this thing. It is a beauty.
Yeah, it definitely is a beauty. It looks good out there on the screen. Also got to give a big shout out, since we're saying some thank yous to graphics guys and all that kind of stuff. Martin Karch behind the scenes. does all of our graphic work here for Full Velocity TV. Scott Schroeder also has a little bit of hand here every now and then. Also got to thank FTF for giving me a great package of graphics. Whoever did their graphics, I know some of those guys, they're really good graphics guys in their own right. So got to thank them guys for getting me a package here early on, way before the 10 races started. So I have a lot of graphics to play around with those guys. So got to thank those guys, and also got to really thank Martin Karch out there, who gets our graphics each and every week here for Full Velocity TV. Does a fantastic job, and he's got more new ideas coming to us here on Full Velocity TV. So behind the scenes, you don't get to see Martin Karch very much. He likes to race on the track, doesn't like to announce, and I can't say that I blame him every once in a while. So he does his work the best on the racetrack, so got to appreciate him, and got to love on Martin Karch there a little bit tonight too.
Oh, absolutely. He makes us look really good. Thanks to all these guys out here, especially FTF, that give us all the logos. All the stuff looks great. All the stuff we get to use and show off to you guys. We try to make us look good and sound good, but these guys do a lot of the work for us, and we just kind of call the action as it happens on the racetrack. 10 laps to go here, Todd, in stage 2 for these guys. And as we saw the end of stage number 1, Taylor Morgan's getting a little bit of a lead. It's about 7 to 8 car lengths over himself, the 44 car of Brian Mercurio, who has a hungry challenge now from Isaac Gann's number 34 car. Isaac Gann, we saw up here before, up in the top 2. He may be poised to do that once again, that 34 car. He is digging in the right direction. He made the move on the outside, put Isaac Gann now up to P2, and that 34 car as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, Isaac Gann up to the number 2 spot, and that number 34 machine now sets the sights on Taylor Morgan's. Is he going to have enough time here to win stage number 2? Morgan's trying to do back-to-back stages here. And that number 36 machine, we're going to have to see what's going to happen with him. Meanwhile, Blake McCandless starting to catch this duo that's in front of him. McCandless running in that 4th spot and able to catch the number 44 of Mercurio here. And I believe he's got better tires than the 44 machine. He's going to do a little bit of a high-low switch here. And there goes Blake McCandless. He's down to the inside of the 44 Mercurio, side-by-side battle here between the 028 and the 44 machine as they come off the corner.
And it's side-by-side battle for that 3rd spot there. McCandless going to peek around the 44 of Mercurio, and looks like he almost going to make that low side work. Merck going to challenge back on the outside lane. That Menards machine, the Speed Shift TV, number 028, Blake McCandless down to the low side. Blake, he's got that preferred line. He's a guy who doesn't like to run down there and overuse his tires. We'll see how deep he drives into 1. He's going to make that work. A little bit of a slide job. 028 up the hill, almost kisses it off the wall. Mercurio, not a whole lot of room there. They're side by side off of turn 2. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, pretty close there. Almost thought that was going to be the big one here in Las Vegas. McCandless able to slide up in front of the 44. Mercurio backs out of it just a little bit, does a high-low switch, gets back down to the bottom, side-by-side battle between himself and that 028 machine as they flash by that start-finish line.
Yeah, and put McCandless now, he powers on the high side back to that 3rd spot. That is a hell of a battle between himself and Mercurio and that number 44 car. Blake's got that 028 now up to 3rd. Wet's still running in that 5th spot. McAdams starting to run him down ever so slightly in the 26, but just kind of looking back for good battles there, Todd. I'm going to take you on a journey right now. Let's go on a little bit of a trip. We're going to go back through the field, and we're going to love on these guys for about a lap or 2 before this stage ends. I want to take you back to a good race going on between the 10 car of Nick Gunther, the 53 of Justin Malello, the 79 of Nick Baker, the 8 of Jordan Busters back there, Arnold Columbia's 39. Those guys have been flip-flopping positions the last 2 laps going back and forth. I saw Baker get to the inside here of believe that was Buster here a lap ago. Those guys having a hell of a run back there. That's good racing going on outside the top 10, currently 13th. Didn't want these guys to feel forgot about. This is good racing going out here as we have 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. But you got to highlight all these guys, Todd. We love to go back to the field and show these guys off and let their presence be known. That's really good racing going on back there, especially this battle between the 79 of Baker and the 53 of Malello. That's side-by-side racing all the way back to 14th.
Yeah, indeed, I was able to show a little bit of that, but we do want to go back up front to get the final stage finishes here when we get through there and see who's going to pick up the stage, who's going to be in your top 10. Got to show them a little bit, and we can go back to those guys out there because we like to show everybody throughout the field, no matter where they are. That's where we've always been at Full Velocity TV. Make sure we don't just show the leaders, we show everybody.
I think that's what makes us stick out from anybody else. As we'll go back to the field here, we'll miss a pass up near the front, just to show you guys Some good racing going on up front. We're approaching end of stage 2. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Full Velocity TV. Phil Lacasse here, very under the weather, as I'm sure you guys can hear in my voice. I do not feel great tonight whatsoever, but I am going to be game just like these guys at FTF. I'm going to give you the best I absolutely have to give you. Todd Stanton down at the controls for us here as we're going to come up, I believe, to stage white here next time around, and good racing going on around that third spot. Blake McCandless, I believe that may have been around a lap car up there. It is at the 048 of Nick DePalmo going a lap down, but up front with stage 2 to go this time, or stage white this time, Taylor Morgan's once again there, Todd, for stage number 2, as we left him in stage 1. Looks to be riding off to a sunset to another stage win here at FTF, picking up max points. As we said, 39 of those stage points gives him an advantage coming into the playoffs. What better way to keep a stranglehold on it than go out there and win the first 2 stages of the race? Advantage 36 car as they work their way now off of turn 4.
Yeah, off of turn 4. I believe this is a get the stage checkered, and if I'm unofficial, we'll see what's happened in here. But Taylor Morgan's going to take down stage number 2 win. So back-to-back wins for Taylor Morgan. Isaac Gann, Blake McCandless, Brian Mercurio, Chris Wetz, Kevin McAdams. Actually, it's going to be Chris Wetz and then Brian Mercurio. Then it's going to be Kevin McAdams, Tyler Head, Corey Carpenter, Cosman, and Brandon Lawson rounding out your top 10 there for stage number 2. So, like I said, Taylor Morgan's going to take home stage number 2 win here. Back-to-back wins. Can he do it for the final stage here? We're going to wait and see here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, we have moved into the third and final stage now. That's going to make up the rest of these laps. We have 72 of 134 on the board. Just trying to do some quick math here. That looks like we are just about to the halfway mark of this race. We are right up on it here. So you got to think these guys have been green for about 22 laps there, Todd. Probably about a dozen laps, maybe 15 if anybody can stretch that out. I want to be inside that car and hear what they're doing, see what these guys do. If this thing stays green, this race really has a green flag feel to it. Has had most of this season at FTF. I know I like to watch streams here every Sunday night, and these guys do a lot of green flag racing. They race hard, as we're seeing tonight, but majority of the time, these guys are really, really clean, really, really fast, and these guys putting on full display as they battle down the backstretch for that third spot, rather. Wetz to the inside of Blake McCandless. Chris Wetz looks to be one of the faster cars on the racetrack. It is showing he's now up to the top 3 off of turn 4.
Yeah, definitely Chris Wetz, the second fastest last time by of all the cars out there on the speedway. And now Isaac Gann starting to run into that also. So top 3 are your fastest cars on the track as it sits right now. And some of the other guys, Kevin McAdams running a pretty good lap. Yeah, we're going to go down through the laps. Taylor Morgan's 30.825. Isaac Gann, 30.963. Chris Wetz, 31.061. Next closest would be Kevin McAdams with a 31.027. And here comes Blake McCandless down to pit road here, and he's woed it down there in that 028 machine.
Now let's see what the 028 does. He's pitting out of the top 5. 028 has a couple of different cars that have come down to pit road. You know, treacherous times down there. His guys are in and out of their stall, but Kaisi Cosman's down there in the 24. We'll see update what he's done, but let's follow Blake McCandless's Speed Shift TV Toyota down there on pit road. Right side tires going up on the air on the 028. Looks like all clean there. They'll swing over to left sides. A little bit slow getting a left side up in the air. Tires are going on. 2 Kansas Sunoco Racing Fuel on it. Blake McCandless down and away. He'll rejoin the race. We'll see how these guys work out. Was also 4 tires for Cosman Ianoshu in the 24 as these guys making quick work. They're down and away. We'll keep our eyes peeled toward pit road for more of these leaders.
Because it looks like Blake McCandless was the first one to come down. The 36 of Taylor Morgan's coming down. Isaac Gann also coming down on pit road. So I got a camera on Isaac Gann there, Phil.
All right, let's see what that number 34 does. He's on the sign. He's way down toward the exit of turn number 4 on pit road. The right side tire work is up on that Alienware Camaro there for Isaac Gann. Right side tire work there over to the left sides. Quick work for the 34. He is down and away. We'll run all the way down to this side of pit road and find the 36 car of Taylor Morgan's. He's toward the middle of pit road. Right side tire work is done. They're over on the left side. He is revving the engine. That Reese's Fast Break Chevrolet. He's down and away. Race leader going to rejoin this race off of pit road.
This race leader going to rejoin the race here off of pit road. 34 Vice again was right there behind him. Probably about a 5 or 6 car length advantage coming off of pit road for the number 36 machine of Taylor Morgan's. Let's see if we can catch up with the leader here. As it looks like Kevin McAdams coming down pit road. And number 26 machine. Going to see if we can, as everything circles around here, trying to catch up with who is our race leader here. And timing the scoring is really, really messing with me here this evening. Looks like now the leader actually coming down the pit road. That would be the 64 Tyler Head. And that David Sunflower sponsor machine. I kind of like that scheme there, Phil. Is the pink and blue and white actually goes together rather well here for the David Sunflower machine. As the number 64 Tyler Head comes down into his pits. Right side tire work going onto that machine. Looks like right side tires are finished. They're back on the ground going to the left sides. Left side tires, 4 tires is the call for the 64 of Tyler Head. He's down and away.
And you want to throw a monkey wrench in the middle of green flag pit stops, Todd. Yellow flag on the speedway just as Tyler Head's David Sunflower Seeds Camaro hit pit road, hit on his sign. Yellow flag came out on the speedway, and this one's going to be a headache here, setting up who is supposed to be where, getting timing and scoring reset, getting the field back in the proper alignment. This is going to take here a couple of minutes, but I can tell you the 37 of Ryan Naraki was involved in the caution flag. Don't exactly know where else it kind of came out to, but that'll give you a point of reference to go back and look from. But yeah, yellow flag for the 3rd time here, past the halfway mark. 80 laps of 134 on the board. Thanks, you guys, for all tuning in. This is the Dan Wheldon Memorial 200 tonight, done up here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Race number 1 for the 2018 FTF Verizon Cup Series playoffs. All 10 races here are going to be live, flag to flag, every Sunday night for these next 10 races. Tune into Full Velocity TV right here. We will have you covered. But Todd, yellow flag number 3 on the racetrack, right in the middle of green flag pit stops. That is a headache for everybody out there. Fans, racers included, admins included. Let's see if we can't do this to get this all set up. What happened to a 37 car?
We're going to see what happened here. And 37 Ryan Naraki had a run-in with Sonny Tallman. I think Sonny Tallman was trying to go down pit road. I'm going to think that that's what is happening for Sonny Tallman. 37 coming through, and Sonny Tallman looks just drifts up track rather slow. Maybe he got loose, but I think he was trying to get his entrance down the pit road, and 37 got up in the marbles there, and that's what caused it there. The 37 around, unfortunately for him. But I believe what all transpired there was Sonny Tallman, either he was going down pit road or he was a little slower than what he had, or he got a tad bit loose on that machine, and that's what caused the huge checkup. And the 37 went high. He got up in the marbles, that wall sucked him in, and that was the end of the 37. Ryan Naraki around there, just looked like he made a lot of contact there. So I think he's going to be able to keep going there and not have a ton of damage.
No, it was a nice little innocent slide off the 47 car. I think that was Sonny Tallman, you said, bringing the 37 car around, put us under caution flag for the 3rd time this evening, right in the middle of green flag pit stops, which makes it kind of a headache. But these guys at FTF, they are professionals. They got this thing figured out in a solid jiffy. The number 19 car of Zach Buchanan, he is going to get the wave around as the lucky dog, and that's going to, I believe, put 20 cars rather, onto the lead lap. As you know, a lot of these guys almost fell off the end of the lead lap, but by way of this caution flag, they're going to avoid that tail end penalty. I believe it's going to put 20 drivers, Todd, unofficially back to the league circuit with 81 laps on the board. So we're starting to get toward the back half of this race with the complexion going to be changing. This is going to be awesome here, as I believe, if I can do the math, about 53 laps remaining here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, about 53 laps are going to be remaining here at Las Vegas, and I made a little error there as I was trying to change some things. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens to me. I'm trying to push the unmute button here and trying to get myself so you guys can actually hear me. And sometimes that button sticks on a brand new keyboard. Not sure why that happens. Must be the moisture in the air here this evening. As it's rather humid once again here in the Northeast. It goes from cold and then it goes humid. So I'm not sure, Phil. Maybe that's why you got sick. I know you're getting about the same weather I'm getting, but right now I'm sweating bullets. Is everything that's going on here. But right now, your current race leader, I'm not sure. I had it as a 64 Tyler Head. The scoring time, it says Corey Carpenter and Brandon Lawson are ahead of him, but I do not think that's the case. I think they went down pit road and took the lead there across the start-finish line. So I believe Tyler Head's going to be your leader when we get this.
I think you're right. Call it unofficial, of course, but I think that's the way it's kind of leaning as we saw guys come down pit road. And, yeah, talk about the weather in the Northeast. Probably the reason that I completely feel like crap and burning up a fever all day. It's going to be the triple-digit temperatures we had like 2 weeks ago. 2 days later, we're down into the mid-50s. And then here we are a couple days later, back up in the high 90s again. And wow, is it just throwing me for a complete loop? I was nursing myself here the last 2 days. You know, I blew up my voice here Wednesday and Thursday night, and you know, really for a couple of days had to really, you know, do all I could to be ready here tonight, and ended up getting sick in the meantime. So apologize, guys. Down on voice here tonight. Feel very raspy. Not sure how I'm sounding, but I can say you're getting my A performance from probably a C body I've got to give from. But looks like unofficially, Todd, I think these guys are going to have an extended yellow. I think what's going on now is they're taking a look at the replay. All the admins here at FTF, they do an awesome job with these caution flags. And they work out, you know, the responsibility of the caution, who goes to the tail end. And in one of these situations where the yellow flag comes out in the middle of the green flag stops, they want to make sure all the proper cars are on the lead lap. Nobody gets one back, you know, snookers the game or whatever else. But I think unofficially it is going to be Corey Carpenter and Brandon Lawson, I think, are going to be your top two cars. I think that's the unofficial word I'm getting from a couple of guys out there. So I believe the 30 is going to come out with the lead. The 9 going to be a lead, and it looks like they're going to call that one a racing deal. They got the lineup all back to posted correctly, so it should be about a lapper now. Hopefully we're going to get one to go this time, as those guys are going to return from pit road, and they're going to take their rightful spot back on the racetrack. One of the interesting things they do at FTF, Todd, they really get these calls right. They take a lot of time to look at them, and they, you know, they go down there and do a great job. So I want to ask you guys out there in the YouTube chat box how you guys are enjoying the show. I see we got Jonathan Taylor out there. Really, really great having somebody be the grammar police out there. Jonathan, the rest of you guys out there watching it, I see the numbers, guys. They're coming in good tonight. Keep that chat box alive. It is that thing that makes this show really go full circle. It goes around, makes this thing a lot of fun for us, and you guys need to pay attention, because probably by the time we hit triple digits here in about 15 to 16 laps, we're going to be calling out for predictions of who is going to win this race here tonight. So we'll do that in about 15 laps from now. But chat box, keep this thing alive. And Jonathan, thanks so much for being the grammar police. I think that was Todd's comment you were correcting there. So always good to have you guys following along. Feel free to engage with us, because it is a lot of fun to have you guys out there interacting with us back and forth and enjoying what is going to be a really, really great finish to this race, the Dan Wheldon Memorial 200 rather, as we are coming to one to go this time by, Todd. So we'll see how this thing's going to cycle out front. One more time around, we'll be back to green flag racing.
Yeah, can't wait to get back to green flag racing here at Las Vegas. We have David Schillhouse, the champ, out there in the chat box. Have not heard much from David Schillhouse as of late. I don't even know who that guy is, actually. I used to know him, but he fallen off the face of the earth there. Then David Schillhouse character. We'll just leave that. We'll leave him in the chat box. He's kind of out there. So 64, Tyler Head. He is going to be your race leader when we go back to green flag racing. The 30 of Corey Carpenter running second. Brandon Lawson's going to be actually third there in the number 9. Then Taylor Morgan's Isaac Gann, Kevin McAdams, Blake McCandless, and Chris Wetz, Arnold Columbia, and Justin Malello. That will be your top 10 for the FTF playoffs here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the site here. And we're getting ready to shake and bake and get ready to rock and roll here once again at Las Vegas. They're going down the back straightaway there, Phil. I can't wait. The suspense is building up. We're going to see who's actually going to win this race here this evening as laps just keep clicking off. And we're going to see what Tyler Head has in store for some of these guys. He's been inside the top 10 all evening long. Does he have what it takes to stay up in that lead?
Well, I'm sure he does, and I'm sure he's got a lot of sunflower seeds in that race car. So, Tyler, you're out there, you watch this tonight, or, you know, listening now, feel free to toss some of that stuff our way, because I'll consume those things as fast as any ball player can do out there. So we're getting ready to come back to the restart. Tyler Head going to restart on the inside. Corey Carpenter alongside. Row 2, Brandon Lawson, Taylor Morgan's. Taylor going to have to come from fourth. I don't know if he's going to pass that many race cars all night long. Green flag going to go back in the air. They're going to march toward turn number 1. Tyler Head going to take away the outside lane from Corey Carpenter into turn number 1. The 30 going to fall back in line there on the bottom. But here comes Brandon Lawson in the number 9. He pulls right up to the back bumper of that 30 car of Corey Carpenter. Brandon Lawson, he may have a car worth the prowl as they hit turn 3 as caution flag going to come on the speedway here once again. Caution flag number 4 of the evening. And just not sure where it come from yet, but we know the old adage, Todd, of cautions breeding cautions. This one may have caught the 19 of Zach Buchanan as involved, and the 39 of Arnold Columbia, who is involved for a 3rd time this evening. So Sonny Tallman's 47 car looks to have a piece of this. So this one may give you a couple different things to look at, Todd, as we're under the caution flag here. Is, you know, right after a round of green flag pit stops, right smack in the middle, we get a caution flag. But we hope the old adage is caution don't breed cautions, because this is the quickest one we've had all night after a sequence of green. These guys maybe got half a lap that time before we were under green. But let's not talk anymore. Let's see what happened to see what happened to this replay.
Well, we're going to see what happened, and Sonny Tallman a little bit slower again here in this replay, so I'm not sure what's going on with the 47. Maybe he has some engine damage. Sonny Tallman, the 19, Zach Buchanan catches him rather fast, takes the air off his spoiler, around goes Sonny Tallman, into the outside wall, comes back down the track, and the camper's getting away. Does not look like anything else happens there, but Sonny Tallman actually a little bit slower on the track, and I don't think the 19 of Zach Buchanan was ready for that, and Buchanan takes the air off his spoiler. Sonny Tallman involved. The 10 also was involved just a little bit too, but I believe that was a little bit of aftermath. But this is what brought out the yellow flag. Arnold Columbia also was involved in another incident there, so maybe I can go back and get a second look and see where Arnold Columbia was involved too, Phil.
All right, so I'll give you a second here to try to screen back and see what the 39 may have got involved with that. But yeah, just going back through it, I thought this may give you a couple different things to look at. It's also brought these guys mainly back down pit road for, you know, at least a little bit of a splash, maybe some right side tires, maybe some guys down there taking 4 tires. I'll see if I can't go back and recap all that action going on as I'm clicking around at some different things. But Todd, let's see. You go back and see if you can't glimpse what happened to the 39 car of Arnold Columbia.
Already got that rather quickly, so this might have brought out the yellow too. So there's 2 separate incidents that we see here on Full Velocity TV. This one, Arnold Columbia, looks like he just got a little loose here, and we're gonna follow with him here. 39 Arnold Columbia, blue apron, never good. Apron bad. 39 Arnold Columbia goes around up in front and collects Bailey. 37 involved, unfortunately. And Arnold Columbia around, and the 10 was also involved down there on the bottom there. Gunther, I believe that was down there. Also the 37 machine also involved. So again, Arnold Columbia in the 39 machine got a little bit loose, came down off that apron, you know, back up the track, got Joshua Bailey and a couple of other guys up there. So rather interesting chain of events happening there. So like I said, I think the checkup may have caused that second incident on the track there, Phil.
Yeah, I think you're kind of right. I was trying to go back and glimpse that as well, but I was just having a good old-fashioned coughing fit over here, so I missed all that. But yeah, going back through it, 39 got loose, and yeah, just kind of watching that back on delay like I see it on the stream like everybody else does. Yeah, there's a lot going on there with that one, so couple of different things happening there. Multiple incidents to put us under the 5th yellow flag of the night here live on Full Velocity TV. Thank you for everybody that's tuned in this evening. Checked in the chat box out there. Always great to see and hear from you guys, and hope you're enjoying the return for us here back to the NR 2003 community just as much as we've enjoyed being back. We've done a bunch of shows over with the guys at Hobo Racing. Over here to FTF, we're going to do 10 weeks of. We're going to have 4 races at TDR Racing here for NR 2003, including next Saturday night. We're back there for the Salute the Heroes 140 from Richmond International Raceway. 1 week after that, back at TDR on a Saturday night for a big fundraiser race that we want to get the word out to all you guys about. It is for the Wounded Warrior Project. We're going to share those links to our Facebook page on Full Velocity TV, so look out for that. Hope to raise some awareness there, raise some money for our Wounded Warriors out there. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on. We also got dates coming up back at Hobo Racing. I know we got a lot to come. Short track racing, we're going to see a lot of that over the winter months as well. So if you'd like to get your league live on Full Velocity TV, get a hold of us here, Full Velocity TV on Facebook. We do have a page you can get to, a group that you can join. And also, if you want to send us an old-fashioned email, fullvelocitytv@gmail.com. League owners out there, anybody, you want to get your league live here on Full Velocity TV and our 2003 iRacing. We are ready to do both. We will be there for your needs. Very, very reasonable rate. Think you guys will all be very impressed at what we're doing. You like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, get a hold of us live here and be a part of Full Velocity TV and the entire experience of what goes in to one of these events. But looks like we're going to be trying to go back to green flag racing this time. Tyler Head's going to lead the field with Taylor Morgan, it looks like, alongside. Second row back, we're going to find Isaac Ann and Blake McCandless, I believe, his restart order still continuing to jumble up here. But we're getting ready for the restart, Todd, off of turn 4. Green flag going to go back in the air. That's going to put us under the green flag at lap number 91. So we're starting to run out of laps here. 33 laps to go in the Dan Wheldon Memorial 200.
Yeah, 33 laps to go here in the Dan Wheldon Memorial 200 as the 64 Tyler Head continues to lead. It's fantastic to see him up front here, a different guy up front here at Full Velocity TV. 30 of Corey Carpenter running in that second spot, heavily challenged by the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Lawson looking all over to try to get around that number 30 in front of him. Lawson now settling back into line behind the number 30 of Corey Carpenter. Fourth right now, Taylor Morgan's in that number 36 machine. I believe he's just waiting in the weeds there in the 36 machine, waiting for something to happen. Maybe to run a little bit later. Is Taylor Morgan's been the guy to beat all evening long. I think he's got what it takes here to win, but we're going to have to wait and see how that's going to unfold. Tyler Head right now is your current race leader, the 64 machine, showing the quickest way around Las Vegas Motor Speedway as of right now.
Yeah, and you say we're waiting for the 36 to pounce. I'm kind of waiting for the 34 to pounce as well. Isaac Ann currently running in that 5th spot as we put 93 up on the board this time around. But Tyler Head, great-looking race car, got a 2-car length lead off of turn number 2 in that battle for second. Corey Carpenter's number 30 car, that Sunoco machine. Brandon Lawson right there with a 9 car. Really no battle there. They're content to ride in the tire tracks, but the racing for that 4th spot is starting to pick up. Isaac Ann's getting a little bit racy down there, Todd. He's been looking to the low side. He looked off of turn number 4 to the low side of the 36. He may look low here as they enter the turn 1. Taylor going to slam the door shut. 34 looking to peek to the inside lane. They'll fall back in line. Now the battle for the 2nd spot once again going to heat up. The 30 car up the hill. Brandon Lawson may peek to the inside, so nothing going on as far as position changes, but you can see guys starting to size up their next move here as the finish line is almost in sight for these guys.
Meanwhile, nice battle going on for that 2nd spot. Lawson goes way down onto the apron, takes the 2nd spot away from Corey Carpenter. Man, was that so close there. I almost thought that was going to be disastrous there coming out of the corner, or going into the corner. Lawson making it work, though, in that number 9 machine, coming down to the apron right up in front of Corey Carpenter. Corey Carpenter's going to fall back to 3rd. As you said, they were sizing each other up. Now Taylor Morgan's starting to size up the number 30 of Carpenter. Also, Isaac Ganton still right there. Cannot count him out. In that number 34 machine, he's all over the rear bumper of the 36 of Taylor Morgan's.
Yeah, it's a great run going on for them. Blake McCandless currently running 6th. Justin Malello 7th. Chris Wetz 8th. Jordan Buster 9th. Cosmin Inoshu is currently running the 24 car in the top 10. 11th is Kyle Riley. 12th is Kevin McAdams. Nick DePalmo is 13th. Brian Mercurio, our pole sitter, he's mired way back in 14th. And Ryan Naraki, the 37, he currently runs 15th on the grid. Jake Poulin, 16th. Joey Bailey, 17th. Nick Baker, 18th. Zach Buchanan, 19th. Sonny Tallman rounds out your top 20. 21st, 1 lap down, is Nick Gunther. Noah Carmichael is 4 laps down, 22nd. Zachary Stoltz, 6 laps down, 23rd. And 1 car out of the race, and that's one of our championship contenders, the 39 car F. Arnold Columbia, as caution flag has befallen the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Caution flag for the 6th time tonight here is try to give you a full field rundown there. Things happen, and this one looks like it may have got the 8 car, the 44, the 43, and it looks like that may have come off the bumper of the 24 car of Cosman. So we highlighted all these guys, and now caution flag going to come out on the racetrack, Todd, and this one may give you a couple of different looks this time around as well.
So we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best. As Phil, you threw it to me a little soon as the yellow flag come out, and yeah, a little soon that time, buddy. As now we're going to be ready here with Jordan Buster and the number 24 Cosman. This is what happens, and when you start racing hard, this is what's happened, and when you're close, this happens also. So there we go. Jordan Buster running real hard. Cosman drifts up the track just a tad bit, taps the 8. Goes up on his roof, surfing down there, almost a turtle for the 8 of Jordan Buster. So again, the 8 going for a ride here. He did do a spinneroonie, as I'm going to call it. Hopefully I don't get copyright infringed for that. But the number 8 of Jordan Buster. Oh man, am I going to not live this replay down? The number 8 up on his roof, spinning around. I also got Mercurio in the 44. Man, lots of guys that are heavily involved here that are actually in the playoff hunt here, and that's tough for some of these guys. As Cosman just barely getting together with the number 8 of Buster, and around Buster goes, and carnage ensued after that.
Yes, it did, and I apologize I threw it to you early. Just the voice starting to crack, the coughing starting to come up a little bit further, and just had no more air to give there, Todd. So I apologize to everybody out there for the dead air. Hate doing it. Hate to put Todd on the fly like that, make him feel the pressure. But, I'm giving you all I got here tonight, guys. There's 1 to go going out on the field. We're going to put triple digits on the scoreboard next time around. 100 of 134 going on the board, as looks like coming to the restart. Corey Carpenter is going to be your leader over Tyler Head. Brandon Lawson will be 3rd. Isaac Ann 4th. Blake McCandless 5th, Taylor Morgans will be 6th, Chris Wett 7th, Kevin McAdams 8th, Jake Poulin has rebounded. He's got the 0-1 up on the 9th spot, and Justin Malello, who has had a very, very up and down night, he's back in the top 10 of the 53, and a great rebound for the 0-51 of Joey Bailey, Todd. I saw that car on pit road a little while ago. He had a little bit of mechanical issues. Looked like he's been able to get back to the lead lap, so Joey Bailey's been driving hard all night long. He sat on the outside pole. Well, now he's back up to P11. Joey Bailey trying to make the most of what looked like a night that gone upside down, but he's rebounded nicely.
Definitely has rebounded nicely there for Joey Bailey in that 051 machine. Good to see him have a good run here in 11. Getting ready as the field is restacked and repacked, ready for racing action once again. The restart zone is there. Green flag is in the air. Corey Carpenter has the advantage there as being the leader. The number 30 machine, Tyler Head, falls right back in the line into the 2nd spot. Here comes the 9 of Brandon Lawson. You got 34 of Isaac Gann and Blake McCandless, your top 5 as they run right now. The 36 now actually around Blake McCandless. Put him into 5th.
Yeah, putting 36 now up, or Blake McCandless rather up ahead of Taylor Morgan's 4th is up front. Things starting to happen there as Carpenter has him held off, but Brandon Lawson, he keeps peeking down till the inside of the 64. You can see out on the straightaway, Tyler Head driving in the middle of the racetrack. Brandon looking kind of low. You use the term here, sizing up the competition. I think that's what the 9 car is doing right now. He's looking to the low side once again off of turn 2. Tyler going to try to pull low, maybe break the draft, maybe make the run at the 30 at Carpenter. Top 3 guys just kind of being a little sneaky here. But what that's doing, Todd, that's bringing the back half of the top 5 in. Isaac Gann now to the mix, as is Taylor Morgans. You can't count those 2 fast drivers out in the top 5. 33 laps to go. Who's it going to be? I'm going to ask you first there, Todd. We're going to ask the YouTube chat box as well. Who is going to be the winner of a Dan Wheldon Memorial 200 tonight here at Las Vegas?
You know, I don't want to give these guys any of the black cloud, but unfortunately, I got to pick. I see a lot of good guys out there making some runs, you know, and I'm going to go with the 34 of Isaac Gann. I've been hitting on the 36. I've been loving on the 36 all evening long. Taylor Morgan, he is the past champion here, but I have to go with Isaac Gann. Isaac Gann has many wins here on the season. Did not qualify for the chase. He has nothing to lose. He's going to win this race.
Oh, fine. That's what I give you for going first, as Isaac comes around the 9 car for the 3rd spot. I guess I'll take the 36, Todd. If you're going to take Isaac, I'll take Taylor. Taylor Morgan's the defending champ. 1-2 state is here already tonight. I'm going to pick the 36 car to be in victory lane when this thing is over. YouTube chat, I want to hear what you're thinking. Who's it going to be? who is going to pick up the win here at FTF tonight, as right now they're chasing Corey Carpenter, who's the 30 car, up in the lead by about 2 car lengths over Tyler Head, who now runs to the inside of the racetrack. Good race up near the lead up there in front off of turn 4.
Yeah, fantastic race going on up here. But I'm also going to add to that, we have some more candy to give away thanks to our sponsors at Kabang Energy Candy here at Full Velocity TV. The winner of the picks out there in YouTube chat box, you got till 10 to go to pick a winner. And it's got, you can't, once you put it in the chat box, you can't say, oh, I'm taking that one back. As soon as you put it in the chat box, that's what we're going to take. If you win, we'll announce it here at the end of the race. If somebody picks that car, you cannot pick the car twice. So you guys all have to pick it. It doesn't matter. The announcers don't matter. It's you guys out there. So you can still pick the 36. You still can pick the 34. We'll get that Kabang Energy Candy out to you and let you guys try it out. Again, they are sponsoring us here on Full Velocity TV. They gave me a ton of candy. I know Phil's got more coming because the guy actually asked for his address. So they're sending more to him. So we got a lot to give away. We're going to give away a package here this evening. Normal retail on that stuff is like $7. So it's rather expensive, but it's actually good. I'm actually on the Kabang Energy Candy right now. I got tons of energy, and I don't even want to sit here watching this race. I want to actually be there or be in the car. So Kabang Energy Candy, thank you. We're going to give away one of those to one lucky winner out there in YouTube chat box.
Yeah, and how you win is you put your prediction into the chat box. I see first one in there clicking David Day, the 34 of Isaac Gann. So that'll be the first one on the 34 car. Somebody put the 20 of David Schildhouse. I'm not sure that one's going to happen here tonight, but YouTube chat, keep that one flying out there. Who's it going to be to win this race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway? 108 laps on the board, so you guys probably have, give or take, about 16 laps to get those picks in. First one that predicts the winner correctly is going to get a package of that Kabang Energy Candy. Special thanks to them guys for being a sponsor for Full Velocity TV. But racing starting to heat up front there, Todd. Isaac Gann not only makes his way around the 64 car of Tyler Head, he's also now going to assault the 30 car of Corey Carpenter. Isaac Gann may be the fastest car out there in the top 5 currently.
Yeah, definitely one of the fastest cars out there. Let's take a look at this board here. 29.610. Indeed, it's the fastest car out there as he's starting to assault the number 30 of Corey Carpenter. He takes over the lead with no battle from the 30 of Corey Carpenter. Carpenter was just that much slower, 29.841 last lap by. So Isaac Gann now takes over the lead in that number 34 machine, taking over his first lead of the evening. And as you say, the cream rises to the top. 110 of 134 to go here at Las Vegas. It's Isaac Gann out in the lead. Corey Carpenter second, but he's going to have a battle here from Taylor Morgan's here really shortly in that number 36 machine.
Yeah, and I think Taylor, if he can get to the 30, he needs to do that quickly because you do not want to let Isaac Gann go out there and run at his own pace if this thing stays green, because we've seen that a few times before. But what I'm hearing from race control there, Todd, and, you know, these guys really do a great job. Justin's doing an awesome job, you know, feeding me little nuggets here and there throughout the night. He says something to keep into the conversation, fuel mileage. This thing may come down to gas mileage if the thing stays green. Readings we're getting, these guys may be almost a full 1 to 3 laps short. So this may come down to who's not only the fastest car, Todd, it also may turn into who has enough gas to put this thing to victory lane. You see guys like Isaac Gann out there turning these laps. Well, if you're turning his laps that fast, you're certainly not saving gas. Something else to pay attention to here in these winning laps of this race.
Meanwhile, Taylor Morgan's able to move into that second spot there, Phil. He got around Corey Carpenter like Isaac Gann did a couple laps prior. But it looks like Morgan's starting to catch the number 34 of Isaac Gann. It's going to be a whale of a battle up front as we're on lap 113 as they go back by the start-finish line of 134. It is Isaac Gann, Taylor Morgan's, Corey Carpenter, Tyler Head holding on to that 4th spot. Brandon Lawson, Blake McCandless, Joey Bailey, Kevin McAdams, Justin Malello, and Brian Mercurio in that number 44 machine. Is now that battle for the 10th spot. Now Chris Wetz back up to 10th.
And Chris Wetz trying to rebound here from being outside the top 10. He's currently 10th. Brian Mercurio, our pole sitter, led a lot of laps early. He's mired outside the top 10, trying to rebound for a nice run here as he tries to make a run for the 2018 FTF Horizon Cup Series Championship. The 44 car currently in the 11th spot, but Up front, the 34 is doing all he's got to do to keep the 36 car behind. It's about 12 car lengths as they work their way down the backstretch. They pull the full second on that race for third between the 30 of Corey Carpenter. Tyler Head's 64 car is car lengths back out there. Brandon Lawson now, as we say that, he's around the 64 car, so Brandon Lawson now up to fourth. I'm seeing a lot of these guys really starting to roll these cars there, Todd. Fuel mileage definitely going to play a role till the end of this race because you can hear these guys clutching. You can hear these engines go silent, and they're starting to get a whole lot more frequent all over the racetrack. So we're seeing some of these battles break up as guys start to pay attention to all that fuel pressure and just how much stuff they have. Some guys really in save mode here to make to the end of the show.
Yeah, definitely. Some of these guys definitely into save mode. We're watching the YouTube chat box. I have been watching them here for the last couple of laps, and a lot of these guys out there saying they should have waited till 10 to go to actually make their pick because they did not hear the fuel mileage nugget before they did make their pick down there in the chat box. But that's unfortunate. I know we didn't know anything about the fuel mileage race either. So Phil and I picked the 36 and the 34. So if they're fuel mileage and they're gambling too, we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen with these guys. Radio chat is kind of quiet for us, but nice battle going on throughout the field. We watched Blake McCandless get around the 64 of Tyler Head. That was a battle for fifth. Here comes the number 26 of Kevin McAdams. He's going to be the next guy to try to get around the 64 of Tyler Head. Like I said, Tyler Head having a good run. Nothing to hang his head about in that 64 machine. He led a few laps here on Full Velocity TV. The guy I've never actually seen up front here and a newcomer to what I've seen out there in Full Velocity TV. So I'm going to call him the newcomer here this evening. But having a good run. Kevin McAdams all over the rear bumper of Tyler Head in that 64 for that sixth spot.
Yeah, Kevin McAdams has that Mountain Dew White Chevrolet rolling up forward. He pulls to the inside of that David Sunflower Seed. Number 64 is, that looks like a really good combination. Sunflower Seeds and some Mountain Dew Ice. Sign me up for that combo all day long as Kevin McAdams looks like he'll complete the pass on the 64. So move the 26 car now up back to that sixth spot as he may pick up a couple of more as these guys are just creeping through these corners and it is just, you know, crawling. I'm looking for engine sounds through 3 and 4. I didn't hear any. That was an eerie feeling right there as this time around here for our race leader, Isaac Gann. 120 laps of 134 on the board, so we're under 15 laps remaining here. This mile-and-a-half Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Todd, it's treated us to some really good racing, and these guys at FTF, they have certainly delivered the goods once again this evening.
Yeah, definitely delivering the goods as Brandon Lawson now takes over third spot. And I don't know if that's going to be short-lived. But here comes the 028 of Blake McCandless now going to the outside. He's now down to the bottom side. High-low switch for Blake McCandless. Kind of a little fakey there for the 028 machine. He's going to move himself into third as Blake McCandless, and he's a master of the F4, like you said. Also pretty good at field mileage in the 028 machine, so he's got some good teammates out there. A lot of these guys working well together. The number 9 of Brandon Lawson falls back to that fourth spot, but here comes Kevin McAdams up to fifth, and he is on the move also there, Phil. Making some headway here, and is one of the faster cars on the lead lap, but not the fastest. It's still Taylor Morgan's last time by the quickest, 30.411.
Yeah, and you can look at the interval. 5 seconds is the interval. The 34 to 36 have taken over the third place running now. Blake McCandless, the 9 car of Brandon Lawson. Kevin McAdams is there. Corey Carpenter is right there in the mix, as is Tyler Head as well. But those guys, you can all see it. I mean, it's obvious by the intervals and what they're doing on your screen. You can see these guys are all conserving, but you know, you see the 34 and the 36, you know, those guys, they are not saving whatsoever. You've also seen guys come in and start short pitting here. I believe Cosman has just come on pit road, the 43 of Kyle Riley. I think I saw leaving the pits, as is the 051 of Joey Bailey. So maybe some strategy plays by those guys, Todd. Short pitting may not be a bad idea, as you're going to leave little time on pit road. And if you're taking maybe right side tires, they need a little bit newer. So I think that's a really good play by those guys coming in. I think those 3 may have short pitted, and we'll have to see how that wears out because I think that may be a good money call.
It might be a good call there, Phil. I might have to agree with you on that one, but it also puts them a lap down, I do believe, to your current race leader. So it looks like the 34 is starting to shake just a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on with Isaac Gann up front there. It looked like he let out of the throttle just a little bit, maybe starting to save gas now. Might be a little late there for Isaac Gann. The 36 Taylor Morgan was able to come up there just a little bit in the 36 machine, so maybe guys are going to save gas now because they got about 5 seconds over the next pack. So actually that might be a good strategy for those guys to play right now, and then maybe race for it the last couple laps to go here. So we're going to have to wait and see if that's going to unfold, or are these guys going to come down onto the pit road and make a pit stop. I don't know. 3 laps is pretty easy to save at Las Vegas. As Mr. Excitement David Day says down in the chat box, if he says it, I guess it's got to be correct, isn't it, Phil?
Well, I don't know. He was the first one to guess a 34 car, and if he's the one that's going to, you know, win that Kabang Energy Candy package we're going to give away, if you know David Day, you know the kind of energy that guy has, I can't imagine giving him more energy with the energy candy, and I'd feel bad for his family. But we'll just leave that for another day, maybe another show or whatever not. But good racing going on now, Todd. I found a good battle going on for the 6th position. Chris Wetz down to the inside of Tyler Head. Put Chris Wetz now up to the 6th spot as these guys all starting to kind of tail off their pace. You see Isaac Gann, he's starting to clutch as well. You see that car shaking back and forth when he's down on power. You know, one of my favorite pastimes in the world, Todd, is I like to eat. I know you do too. I'm a guy who loves watching competitive eating, and that old 34 car shaking side, you know, side to side like that, almost reminds me of that old Japanese hot dog eater, Kobayashi. Anytime he would get kind of empty in the tank there, that would kind of be stuffing hot dogs in really quick. He would kind of wiggle back and forth, try to get more capacity out of his stomach. Maybe that's the same kind of method Isaac Gann's trying to do, is shake the fuel back and forth in that 34 car to maybe just save enough here to win this race tonight. He's got 7 more laps to go, and he's got a little bit of an advantage on Taylor Morgans, who looks to be going in full-on conservation mode.
Yeah, it definitely does. These guys are definitely indeed clutching it. These guys are starting to catch them from behind, as Blake McCandless so only a 4.453 behind their current race leader. So they're starting to reel them in just a little bit. These guys are definitely clutching in front of him, so we're going to have to wait and see if he's going to be able to save enough, if these guys had enough of a lead to save those 3 laps. We're on lap 128 here of 134. Taylor Morgan starting to catch the 34 of Isaac Gann, but he's catching them, and then he starts clutching in the 36. So you know those guys are rather close here. And this is actually getting some drama here at Las Vegas. We talked about field mileage, and this is going to be a fantastic ending, I do believe here.
Well, have the 34 and the 36 got away too soon? Have they rolled the dice here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, or have those guys, you know, 3rd place on back, McCandless, McAdams, Lawson, all those guys on back, have they saved enough fuel? Are they going to come up snake eyes here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway? We're going to find out in 5 more laps who has enough. We're going to see if these guys that have come in the short pit is going to work for them at all, because those guys are all 1 lap down. That being Joey Bailey, Cosman, Ian Oshu, Kyle Riley, those guys all came down early. These guys up front are hoping to not come at all, but the more and more I look at the 34 car, the way I see that 36 starting to wiggle a little bit, these guys, Todd, just absolutely on the edge of making it or maybe not making it. A lot of drama, a lot of implications to play out here as it is playoff night, the start, race number 1 of the FTF Verizon Cup Series playoffs. This is how we're going to crown a champion over the next 10 weeks here at FTF, and you're going to see it live, flag to flag on Full Velocity TV. I don't know, Todd, this is starting to get pretty dramatic. Isaac hasn't really let out of the gas too much. Taylor's falling a little bit back. Blake McCandless has kind of stayed steady at 3.3 seconds. I think all these guys are close. I just can't imagine. Oh, Isaac Gann. Isaac Gann's coming off the racetrack. He's going to pit out of the race lead. So obviously going to be a splash and go there. The race leader can't make it. Now our attention is going to turn to the 36 car of Taylor Morgans. Is he going to have enough to maybe win this race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
To be interesting there, Phil, is watching these guys come up through the field and just watching to see who has enough fuel to make it. Blake McCandless may not be able to make it either, but he's running second. He's able to reel in Taylor Morgans, as Morgan's got enough there in the 36 machine to bring home the victory here this evening. We got 133 going up on the board of 134, I believe 132 of 134 up on the board. Does Taylor Morgans have enough? Actually, 133 is correct.
Well, 2 to go at the line here unofficially, but don't forget, Todd, 2 to go here at FTF. That is the point of no return. If this race has a caution flag, they will race 2 laps past this distance to try to settle it out and score the race winner. So that 134 on your screen could be 136 here. Is white flag going to come out here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway? One more trip around this beautiful mile-and-a-half jewel out in the Las Vegas area here in Nevada, right off the strip here in Las Vegas. Can Taylor Morgan's hold on? Does he have enough fuel, or is it going to be Blake McCandless in the 028? Does he have enough here to save? Taylor Morgan's in a really good lead on the field there, Todd, off of turn number 2. But the big question in everybody's mind is he comes off of 4, checkered flag in the air. Taylor Morgan's, he rolls the dice. He's going to save enough. Taylor Morgan's, he does the night sweep here. Wins all 3 stages and the race win. Maximum points tonight for our point leader coming into the playoffs here. Taylor Morgan's, he claims the checkered flag at Las Vegas.
The trifecta for Taylor Morgan's here in the fast break. Camaro, good job for Taylor Morgan's, last year's champion. He punches his ticket into the next round already. Does the 36 of Taylor Morgan's. Does not have to worry. Can gamble all he wants the next couple of races here for the playoffs. And congratulations to David Schildhaus, who needs to now send a address to us so we can send you some Kabang Energy Candy. He is the winner down there in chat box, so he finally won something here, as he could not do that last season. So again, the 36 of Taylor Morgan's going to take home the victory here, punching his ticket as he's going to ruin that Sonic sign down there. Drives right straight through it, but Taylor Morgan's taking down the victory here this evening. I believe he's now probably out of fuel in the 36. Congratulations to him. Taking down the victory, Blake McCandless, Kevin McAdams, Chris Wetz, Brandon Lawson, Tyler Head, Corey Carpenter, Brian McCurry, Nick Baker bringing home 9th, Jake Poulin bringing home 10th, Nick Gunther, Ryan Naraki, Justin Malalo, Zach Buchanan, Jordan Buster, Sonny Tallman, Joey Bailey, Isaac Gann, Kyle Riley, and Cosman. Your top 20 that I can see on our screen.
All right, so that's going to, take the finish of the race here, as I was communicating off air with Justin Malello, who says we will have a points update at the conclusion of Victory Lane. So what we're going to do now here, Todd, is we are going to move into the post-race show, which normally I would throw you down straight to Victory Lane and take care of 2nd and 3rd, but I'm going to throw you an audible here tonight. I am going to throw you also the 3rd place interview because I don't know how much more I got to give you. So I'm going to put you on the spot. I know you're a pro at it. I am going to give you the money interview here tonight. We're going to let you talk to Kevin McAdams, our 3rd place finisher, and with that beautiful Mountain Dew Ice Chevrolet. So, Todd, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Of course, pushing all the buttons. It gives me an extra guy here tonight. But I like talking to Kevin McAdams. Bringing home 3rd tonight. A good playoff performance for the number 26 of Kevin. Kevin, tell us about it. It was a late race. How many more laps could you have gone on field there?
0 laps, about 500 feet there, Todd. It was pretty close. I had about 3 pounds of pressure on the pressure gauge going out of 2, so I pretty much clutched the whole time. I don't know how Taylor got out to that lead and maintained the win. Good win to him, but it was really close. It was really close on fuel, but I'm happy that made it on the good side of the fuel tank. Proud to come home 3rd. I really didn't have a good handle on tonight. I was really tight, especially in 1, and I just drove the right front off. So, like I said before, I don't know how Taylor and Isaac could get out that far, but happy for a 3rd place finish.
Indeed, podium finish. You're accustomed to podium finishes on Full Velocity TV there, Kevin, and making the season with a statement here. Finishing up 3rd here, podium finish. A couple more positions better. I do believe you got some really strong tracks coming up that we've seen you win at before here on Full Velocity TV. But you can tell us about that. What tracks are you looking forward to most coming up?
I'm always really good at Richmond. Taylor is too. If Isaac decides to show up during the playoffs, he's always a threat. I've obviously the Roval, whether it be Charlotte or somewhere else, road courses are always one of my favorites. Obviously, you got the likes of Phoenix later on, or I guess that's called ISM Raceway. I'm always good at the flat track, so always looking forward to those. But let's get through the first round. Looking forward next week to Richmond. Should be a really good race.
Well, as accustomed to here on Full Velocity TV, I'm going to the microphone floor is all yours. Thank you. I would like to thank you this evening, Kevin.
Thanks, Todd. Just want to thank everyone for having a clean race tonight. Love the core guys that we have. It's not the numbers that we've been accustomed to the past, but we have really clean racing. We have really good racing, especially up front. I want to thank the speeding guys. Want to thank the admins, Justin, Brandon, Corey for coming on the second half of the season. Really can't thank him enough for coming on and helping us out. Happy to see that both Brandon and Corey are safe in that storm. But just a good finish. Looking forward to Richmond.
Again, our driver taking home third place tonight, the driver of the 26, Kevin McAdams. We're going to throw it down to, I believe, Phil, who's probably worn out. Down there with Blake McCandless, who has finished up second here this evening. Field mileage race for him also.
Before stages.
It really was a fuel mileage kind of night, and guy who really good at doing that, saving fuel, saving tires, is our second place finisher in the 028 tonight. Our old buddy, Blake McCandless. Blake, what an awesome run for you. Second place finish, strong off the heels of your first FTF career win last week at the Brickyard. Momentum really in that camp right now. Tell us about that evening.
Yeah, momentum's at an all-time high. I really thought I had a good chance there. Obviously, coming off the win last week is a really great boost. But came into tonight, wanted to run the speed shift car, and I guess I didn't really let Joe know about it. So if he's watching out there, he can see that I wheeled it to a second-place finish. Thought we had two in a row, but man, like Isaac and Taylor just got so far out there. I really didn't think they had any chance to pit. And once the 34 pit, I was certain that the race for the win was between me and Kevin McAdams. And somehow Taylor pulled it out. We were just talking before I came up into the booth here with you guys. And, I mean, he was just as saving as much as I am. My fuel pressure gauge started to blink coming out of turn 2 on the last lap. So I think his may have gone just a little bit earlier. But, yeah, it was a crazy race, but I can't argue with the second place finish.
Now, I'll ask you the same question here that Todd just asked Kevin. No, of course, you're out here running just for the pride and the glory and just the fun of the sport as a guy who's not in this playoff contention. But can we expect to see more of you out here through the next couple of Sunday nights? Because you're always a guy who can, throw a wrinkle in the mix and maybe throw a monkey wrench at these guys, that may be out there chasing stage points or whatever else that, it's championship time. You've been here before. Tell us what the plans are for you the rest of the season.
Well, I think, if I was able to show up here for enough of the season, I would have, had a great chance to qualify and could have been out here running with these guys. So I guess the plan is to just kind of run like I was in this thing and see if, theoretically, if I could have been part of the chase or the playoffs or what have you, that we could be a contender that would, fight to go all the way to Homestead. Even without the playoffs tonight, ran really well on the stages, started out with good track position through qualifying. So all in all, it was a great night and thought we had the strategy to win, just couldn't quite pull it off because I still can't believe Taylor was able to make it to the finish. I don't think he could either.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Blake, as always, brother, great to catch up with you, a colleague of ours for a long time. Colleague, myself there when you guys at Speed Shift TV make the call. I always love to come over and play with you guys. But awesome job by you tonight, buddy. I'm going to give you the microphone. You got a lot of friends out there. The chat box has been alive for you. I know you have a lot of family who watch these events. So give a shout out to everybody out there watching there, bud.
All right, first off, got to say thanks to Team Crush. Couldn't do it without your support. 3 Unit and all the guys. That win last week was for that man that guess couldn't quite close the deal officially here last year. But and then I got to say thanks to Speed Shift TV. We got a great show coming up Thursday night. A really very special guest going to join us in the booth as we're going to cover big show promotions out at Kokomo Speedway on Thursday night. So really excited for that opportunity and to be able to represent them on the card tonight. So going to be a great night of action on Speed Shift TV on Facebook and YouTube on Thursday night. But otherwise, just a great race, and thank all you guys at Full Velocity TV for covering it and all the fans for coming out and listening. It should be a great playoffs, and who knows if we can't be a part of a few more of these deals.
Absolutely. I got to thank you because I know you were on standby for my butt here tonight if I couldn't get through this whole race. So appreciate that offer as well, Blake. As always, great to talk to you. Good to see you having success on the racetrack. And, man, keep digging, brother. Great job, and congratulations on all the success you've been having. I know you've been very busy out there.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, go ask Taylor how he made it to the end because I still don't know how he did it.
Oh, well, that's a good segue right there. That's one broadcaster to another. I'm going to throw this sucker down the victory lane to my buddy, Mr. Too Tall Todd Stanton. Todd, that's that big question. How the heck did Taylor get there?
Well, indeed, I got Taylor Morgan's here. Victory lane. Looks like he made it down to the start-finish line before he ran out of gas again. And he was able to save enough fuel here to pick up the win. And everybody wants to know, choir minds want to know, Taylor, how did you save enough fuel to make it to the end?
Dude, I don't know. I'm usually pretty bad at fuel mileage races, and I just got lucky tonight, I guess.
Now, just lucky you punch your ticket into the next round, just like that, picking up a win here this evening. How many more gambling races are you going to play now in the next couple of races? Is that going to make sure that you're going to win some races, or you're going to just lay back and just be conservative?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to try to go out for some wins, build up as much playoff points as I can to try to assure my spot in the Final Four. So yeah, I'm going to go after those wins and stage wins. And well, for the Roval, I'm going to try to survive, but Richmond definitely going to go out for the win and some stage win.
Yeah, I'm interested and intrigued just as much as everybody else how that Roval's actually going to go. I know Richmond's going to be a good track for yourself, and Kevin even said it was a good track for him, so it's going to be a good race between you two. You're able to gamble just a little bit more than maybe Kevin there at Richmond. How much, like a win like this tonight, how much does that change your strategy going in? Are you going to gamble a little bit more? Is that the way you play it there?
Well, if the race turns out that way where I can gamble, I'm definitely going to try to do that, but I'm probably just going to go into it with the same mindset as any other race and just drive hard.
Well, again, picking up the 2017 FTF Championship here on Full Velocity TV last year. Starting it out with a win here this evening, but a microphone. Thank whoever would like to thank. Taylor, who got you here this evening?
Oh, well, first of all, I got to thank Justin and the FTF crew for putting on this league. They spend a lot of time working on the tracks and the setups, and Kevin, thanks Kevin, and yeah, just thank those guys, and of course got to thank you guys for coming on again. That's pretty cool of you guys.
Yeah, glad to be a part of FTF once again this season, and you guys put on a whale of a show each and every week, and it was awesome last year, and we were glad to be a part, and Justin and all the guys here at FTF and you guys, we're glad to be back and be able to cover your races again.
Oh yeah, and also thanks to the teammates. You guys are really good teammates. Couldn't ask for any better teammates. So big thanks to those guys, and hopefully they'll win these next two races to get into the next round.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, picking up the win here, FTF Las Vegas, and punching his ticket into the next round already. Taylor Morgan's taking down the win here on Full Velocity TV. Phil, great race here this evening, and these guys always show us a good race. I'm telling you, the top-notch drivers come to FTF. If you guys want a place to race and want to race against the best competition, you got to come to FTF.
Yes, you do. Every Sunday night here, we have 9 more races left to go here in the playoffs, broken down to segments as we saw last year. But the big question is we have 2 races now remaining here in this first segment for the FTF Verizon Cup Series Championship. We're going to bring our buddy Justin Malello into the conversation. Justin, as always, my friend, it is a pleasure to talk to you. I think the points are probably going to be a little anticlimactic with Taylor going out there and, winning all 3 stages of this event tonight. But how about the update here through the rest of the field here is a lot of guys took gambles and able to walk away with some of those playoff points.
It's anything but anticlimactic. It's pretty tight for that final position in our round of 12, which is happening 2 races after 2 races. Thank you again, guys, for having me in here. But yeah, Taylor, he is punched. He got his ticket. He's heading to the round of 12. So his points really didn't matter anyway. But when we look through the rest of the field, we've got 2nd through 16th, and anything can happen. Kevin currently is the highest in the points. He is ahead of 13th by 59 points. Then you got Brian Mercurio, and he's ahead by 39 points. Then you got Corey Carpenter, and he's ahead by 36 points. And those four have really separated themselves from the rest of the field. Then it gets really, really tight from 5th all the way to 15th. I mean, even 16th still has a shot at it. Right now, you got Chris Wetz in that 5th position. He's 16 points above our 13th place driver. Then you got Tyler Head. He is what did I just say? He is 15 points ahead. Then you got Brandon Lawson, who's tied with Tyler Head. Then you got Cosman in 8th, and he's only got 12 points to the good. Then you got Justin Malillo, myself in 9th, and I'm only 8 points to the good. Kyle Riley sits in 10th. He is only 4 points to the good. And then you have a tie for 11th between Jake Poulin and Nick Baker. They're only 1 point ahead of our 13th place driver, who's Jordan Buster. He's 1 point out. Then Ryan Araki is 14th. He is 3 points out. And Zach Buchanan is only 5 points out. Arnold, he had a tough night tonight. He's 15 points off the cut line, but it's not a completely insurmountable amount. If Arnold has a couple of good stages next week, I mean, he could be right back in the thick of things. So it's definitely really, really close. I'd say from 5th to 16th, and it could swing. Wetz could be out. Arnold could be in. Who knows? But I'd say for right now, those top 4 are pretty safe. Taylor, Kevin, Brian, and Corey. Even though there's a possibility that one of those guys might not make the Roval, but we'll just have to see if that happens.
Now, talk about that Roval here for a brief second, because, I mean, that is going to be, I think, the true wild card of this playoff scenario here this season. I mean, I don't think you guys have formally announced where that road course race is going to be, if the Charlotte Roval is going to be done or another racetrack or whatever, but just how much of a wild card do you think that race is going to play into this entire scenario to crown a champion here this season?
Well, it's going to be so much of a of a wild card that we don't even know where we're going to be at. I really, really, really hope that we have something. I know the guys that are at NR Track Designs, they're working really hard on getting the track out for the Roval. I don't know if it's going to be done in time or not for the Charlotte Roval. I hope that we have something, because I'd really like to participate on that. We do have a backup plan. I can't really say for now, but it will be another oval track with a road course inside. So either way, we're getting a Roval. I'm just hoping that it's Charlotte, and it's gonna be a blast, because I mean, none of these guys will have ever raced on Charlotte if it's Charlotte, or if it's the other one. I mean, it's still something that's rarely ever raced on in NASCAR type cars. So you know, I expect the road course guys, you know, guys like Brian, Kevin, Taylor, I expect those guys to be pointing on the field in that kind of stuff. If Andrew shows up, he could definitely be one of the guys to look out for. If Tom Sylvain shows up, him too. But everybody else, I mean, anything could happen.
Well, anything can happen, and FTF, anything will happen. So, Justin, as always, my friend, great to catch up with you. And I think we had a couple of dates here these next couple of weeks to do just this at post-race. So, great job tonight, brother. You communication with me back and forth, keeping me up to date. That was awesome as well. And I can't wait. Let's do this again next week at Richmond. I think we got a date.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks for having us.
All right, it's our buddy Justin Malillo with this week's FTF Verizon Cup Series points update. So we'll let him get back to doing all the stuff he's got to do. Todd, it was an amazing night for us here on Full Velocity TV. Any closing thoughts from you?
Not many closing thoughts here this evening. Been looking around, just watching what was going on tonight. I know we're in store for a great season. Cannot wait for everything that's coming up here this week. Tomorrow night we're back at it again on the dirt on iRacing, CDR iRacing series with the Pro Late Model Series race number 7 of 8. That championship is starting to close up the gap. And then Wednesday we join our guys back at DWR, and it's going to be live on Facebook. Man, Facebook. Everybody's going to have to share that one. We're going to be live once again on Facebook. We're working on a multi-stream ordeal. But as of right now, we're going to go with Facebook with the DWR guys. We're going to test it out with them guys and make sure everything's working before we're able to announce that for everybody. But I cannot wait for the rest of the season. 9 more Sundays left before we crown us champion here at FTF. And it's heating up. It's going to be different here this season. I can feel it.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. So, for all you guys out there in YouTube chat tonight, thanks for making this show go around. Todd, awesome job as always. You know, all my issues aside here tonight. Thanks to you guys out there for all the support. Find us Full Velocity TV on Facebook, and also if you want to drop us an email, get your league on Full Velocity TV, fullvelocitytv@gmail.com. So for Todd, I am Phil. For all the gang at FTF, we will see you back here next Sunday night and back on our airwaves tomorrow night. We go back iRacing over at TDR. We'll see you then.